Hi, welcome to the very first vlog for the Design by Solo Handmade YouTube. I am new to doing this, so please be patient and have some grace for me. Recently, I have been posting to my Instagram about my process for the week and what I've been doing and how I do it, which has kind of become like a what's in the bag kind of video. And it seems to be getting a little bit more traction than anything else I've done. So I decided to introduce that same process and mentality and bring it on over here to YouTube and try and set up a YouTube vlog version, which is going to be a little more detailed about the process behind what I pick, how I pick it, how I plan to use it. And ultimately, a lot of this is stash busting because I have a lot of yarn. There's more on the other side of the room too. So that's part of it. The second part is that I just got accepted into a really, really big craft show. I have never done this one as a creator, but I have been as a shopper, and it is massive. Shoulder to shoulder, all day long. Hundreds of vendors and crafters and artisans, and I'm really excited about it, but I'm also really nervous. It's a 2-day event, and I feel like I need to really stock up and create some unique items and do some creative things, not only with my products, but with my booth. So all of that said, those are all things on my mind, and part of the reason behind, one, me starting a vlog to document all of these things, because I know that that is something that I enjoy watching while I'm creating and crafting, and it's something that I find inspiration in. And also because I want to hold myself accountable. So a big part of that and a big part of these vlogs is going to be me kind of sharing with you what I have in my bag. So it'll be what's in my bag, what I create with it throughout the week, usually Monday through Friday. And then at the end of the week, I'll do a recap. So today is Tuesday, so we're already a little behind. And this weekend, we are going out of town to Niagara Falls. So already kind of a day behind and cutting myself a day short. So we'll go ahead and get started. So I have my yarns. I'm going to show you my yarns, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what I plan to do with them. I have goals written down, and then I'm going to kind of track myself and see how much I'm able to accomplish. I know there's a couple things on this list that I know I'm not going to be able to get done this week, but can get a good start on. So one of the biggest things that I've been selling a lot lately is my jellyfish. They've been doing really well on Etsy, and they've been doing really well at my shows. I had a show this past weekend, and I sold almost all of them that I took. I think I took 10 of them, and I have like 2 left. So that's a really good turnout for me. The pattern is Crochet by Jenna. She has been one of my really big inspirations. So please go buy this pattern. It's wonderful. It works up super easy. And I've gotten a lot of my patterns from her, and they always sell really well. So we'll start with some of our chenille yarns because that's what I use for my jellyfish. So I have some coral. This is a partial skein. I'd like to use it up and get 1 to 2 jellyfish out of it. So there's one. I already started a little bit today. So I had a partial ball of navy. I already worked up 1 jellyfish today, so this is the remainder of that, and we already have a jellyfish. So that was my goal for this one. I also have a pink partial chenille. I've got 1 jellyfish so far. Again, I made this little guy today, just finished him up. So we're already in a process with that. I'd like to get 1 more jellyfish out of this if I can. If not, we might do the body one color and the legs another color, something I've done in the past when I run out of these yarns. So those are the jellyfish colors. Oh, 1 more. I also have this one for the jellyfish. I have not started in on this one yet. This is just a partial skein, and all 3 of those were the Sweet Snuggles Light by Loops and Threads, which has been really inconsistent. So I am in the process of working through my stash of the Sweet Snuggles Light and the Chenille Home because it's been inconsistent, and I plan on transitioning fully to Premier Parfait. Premier Parfait, just the basic chunky version, not the XL, going forward for my jellyfish. So another one of the projects that I've been working on, and this kind of started as a gift for someone, but turned out a little too cutesy because she wanted it for her husband's office, but I'm in love with it and I want to finish it. I think it's turning out really unique. So that is this guy. So this was supposed to be a cute little succulent plant. I used plush yarn for the body and it just turned out a little too cutesy, a little too girly, but I'm loving the way this is turning up. We've got acrylic, we've got velvet, we've got chenille, we've got different vines. So we are going to put some actual succulent flowers on the top. So this is a work in progress, but something that I want to work on throughout the week. So yarns for this one. I have some pine chenille. This is a partial skein. I'd like to use this for the actual succulent flowers themselves. I made a smaller version with acrylic yarn and it turned out really cute, which is what I ended up giving her for her husband's office. So this is going to turn out to be plant parts. This one is also probably going to turn out to be plant parts. This is Loops and Threads, but it's the extra large version. I can't even remember what it's called, but it's the extra large version. This is all I have left, so I want to get it used up. I have a little teeny scrap of velvet that I'd like to use up. These have been working up really well with the succulents. This is Impeccable by Loops and Threads, and then Heartland by Lions Brand. This one is kind of shimmery, and then this one's just basic green. So those have been working up really well. Also have these. Ooh, look at me go, failing my first try. I also have these that I want to use for plant parts. So these are all going to be plant part pieces. So we'll set those off to the side. Also on the plant track, I want to try some smaller versions, which again, these will all be the green versions, and yarns will all go into this as well. Probably more the cottons and the acrylics than the plushy yarns, but I have a little bit of brown left from the pot that I ended up making for the plant that I gifted. So I'd like to do another small pot with this and see where that takes us. Last plushie idea. So I've been making these adorable chickens and my husband loves them. First of all, he stole my first one. He uses it for his headphones actually. And then I made a very little boy very happy at my show on Saturday. He absolutely loved it. He even walked by later and he said, "Look, that's where my chicken was born." And it just made me so happy and remember kind of why I do this and why I enjoy this. So this pattern is the No Show Chicken Crochet pattern by Cuties Crochet Patterns. So this is the front of it. It's on Etsy. Go buy it. It's adorable. It's squishy. I love it. So I found this on clearance at Michael's. So again, it's Loops and Threads. It's the Chenille Home Slim, which I do believe they are completely discontinuing. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I would love to be wrong. But after their snafu with the texture pieces, I don't think that this yarn is doing well for them anymore. I have no evidence to back that up. This is just my personal opinion. So this is the other plushy one that I plan on using. Oh, and this one. So this is something that I think I thrifted. I think it's a Hobby Lobby yarn, but it's very similar to the Premier Home, the Premier Parfait chunky yarns. It's the same size, it's the same feel, everything. So this will probably get worked up into jellyfish as well. The last project I'm working on this week, and I don't think I'm going to get this one done, but it is on the docket. I'd like to work on it in my spare time because I'd like to have a couple of these for this big show coming up. That show is at the end of September, so I've got some time. But I've got these skeins. They were cakes. I tried things with them over the last few years since I've had them, and I've always backed out. I've always frogged them. I've never kept them. So now what I want to do is I want to make with them because I think it'll be really pretty. We've already kind of started. This is kind of a mindless project. but we're going to do a hexagon cardigan with these. I think I can make like a small to a medium hexagon cardigan with these. Each skein is 590 yards, but it is a 3-weight, so we'll see. I'm going to go through this one until we get to like this light gray and see where we are, because I do still need yarn for the border and then a sleeve extension. I probably have some white acrylic that would work with it for the cuffs if I wanted to go that route, and the border around it. So if I really need to use all of this in the body, I'm sure that I have something in my stash that I can use to finish it up. So all of that said, these are my yarns. This is what's in my bag this week. Hoping to plow through a lot of this. I don't know how far I'm going to get though, because we are preparing for this trip. I'd like to get my succulent plant done. That's a big one for me. And then of course my jellyfish done with those partial skeins. One, because I want to get them up on Etsy. They are selling really well right now, so I want to see that continue. So those are my big ones for right now. And then this of course is just kind of that mindless end of the day, need something to keep my hands busy but don't want to count rows anymore projects. So this is going to be a little bit more of a low priority, probably more of a car project for this weekend, but we'll see how far we get with that. So I'm going to add in some time lapses of some of the things that I'm working on. I will probably wrap up this video on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. Obviously this will all get grouped together, so I don't know why I'm telling you to stay tuned. But I will add in some time lapses of some of the things that I'm working on and putting all of these things together. And then Thursday evening we'll come back together and I will show you guys my haul for the week, what I was able to create, how much I have left, and what I wasn't able to accomplish. So hopefully you enjoy. Hello, happy Wednesday. So I just wanted to hop on and do a quick kind of check-in, see what we accomplished yesterday, Tuesday, and what our final results were for there. We shared a little bit about what I was doing and what my plans were. So just going to share with you a little bit about what I accomplished last night, yesterday evening, and what we were able to do today. So far, last night, we got 3 jellyfish done. So we got pink, we have a navy, and we ended up with a little mint guy. We were also able to do some plant parts. So we got some of those done. So we got some little succulent blossoms, and we got some big succulent blossoms. And then we did some vines, just one vine. Not a lot, but just one simple little vine. So that was before bed. After bed, I usually, when I go to bed, usually lay in bed and crochet for a little bit, kind of play with some things. My husband is an early to bed. I am kind of a night owl, so it works out. So we got one more succulent blossom, and because I didn't take all of my stuffing and my safety eyes and everything upstairs, I kind of just do the carcasses and then follow up the next day and come into my craft area and stuff and finalize. So I was able to get through 3 bodies last night. So we have 2 coral, 1 of the bright blue. So I was able to get through these last night in bed. And then today I really just kind of in my downtime worked on our hexagon cardigan. So I did get quite a ways on this. It's looking really good. I like the way the colors are working up. but I don't think we're going to have enough to do a small medium. At best, I think we're maybe going to be able to do like a kid's large. So it's still going to be cute. I still would like to have it, especially for my show at the end of September. So that's kind of where we are. So for now, I'm going to put on some podcasts. I'm going to hang in my craft room for probably an hour, maybe a little bit more while the kiddo is out playing. And then tomorrow we will check back in and see what we were able to accomplish and wrap up our week. So enjoy. Well, it is Thursday. We have reached the end of our what's in the bag session for this week. We are going on vacation this weekend, like I said before, so I'm kind of wrapping up this week a little early, getting my bag packed for our road trip. Lots of yarn is going, don't worry. So wasn't able to accomplish a whole lot today just because I'm getting ready for vacation, doing lots of things around the house. My daughter has friends over. It's just a day. So I did accomplish 1/2 of our hexagon cardigan, and I was able to get through one entire cake of this yarn. So we got through one side. I don't think this is gonna make a very decent size. So I was able to dig a little bit in the stash, because this is all about stash busting, and find some white 3-weight that I think will pair really nicely to finish out the border and the sleeves, and kind of probably put a collar on it as well. I was able to get started on the second half, but not very far. I do like the way that this is working up. I think it's going to be gorgeous at the end. The other thing that I was able to get through today, again, nothing really big, but I was able to work on some plant pieces. So we got one little plant pot, a succulent blossom, and a couple little plant pieces. So all in all, this week, we were able to get through quite a lot of our yarn. We got through most of the plush yarn, so we were able to do a lot of the jellyfish that I hoped to accomplish, and I was able to work through a little bit of the green acrylics and cottons and things like that that I had for plants. So wasn't able to get through all of that. I started late, I'm ending early, just one of those weeks. So we have very little yarn left in our bag, but what we do have left are some more partially used skeins. Wasn't able to use any of this light green. I'm not quite feeling it for plants, so I think I might end up putting that one back in the stash for now. It's just a little too vibrant. This one, I didn't end up using any just for the sake of time. We were able to get through this big skein. This was a full skein when I started, so it is plush loops and threads yarn, and I'll show you what I did with it here in just a minute. And then we have just some random plushy yarn. We were able to use some of the pine, didn't use any of this big stuff. This is like the big loops and threads chenille, so it's not easy to use up. And then we have enough left of our blue to do one more jellyfish. Possibly we might have to make the legs a different color. So we were able to use all that. We used up the pink, and we used up the, oh my gosh, what else do we use up? We used up the pink, and we used up most of the green. So good things there. To wrap up what we made this week, let me get the bin. So to wrap up, yes, I have a big bin. I like my bins. You'll find out. So to wrap up, we did the little plant parts today, and we are, I would say, like a third of the way through. ish of the Hexie cardigan. We were able to get through, we made 2 chickens. So we've got 2 chickens, two little chickens, big chickens. These guys used up most of that single skein, so I was able to get 2 out of there, which is great. We ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 jellyfish, which is awesome. Those will all get updated in my Etsy shop and be really, really great filler for the show coming up. So other than that, we did get some plant parts made. These are going to get incorporated into the big pot that I have going on. I still have a little bit more to make for it to really make it feel full, because it did end up being a lot bigger than I originally planned for it to be. So that will be a next week project. This weekend is all about spending time with my husband, my brother-in-law, his girlfriend. Niagara Falls, we're going. I've never been. So that's really what this weekend is all about. That said, it is a 7-hour car ride, so I do have a whole duffel bag full of yarn ready to go. But all of that said, I think we had a really successful week. We were able to get quite a bit done. We still have a long way to go before I feel ready for this show at the end of September. That said, it's at the end of September, so we've got time. We have a lot of things that we can do and accomplish. When I get back from vacation this weekend, the plan is to go through my current inventory. Right now I'm just kind of making what feels right and what I think is gonna sell. When I get back, I plan on unpacking all of my inventory from my show last weekend, really getting it organized and seeing what I think I need, what maybe I don't need to focus on, and really digging in and finding some new and creative pieces to put in there. So as of right now, this is where we're ending. Again, I feel like we had a really successful week. Was able to get quite a bit done, and I used, let's see, let's look at the count. Let's see, my handy dandy little pouch. We were able to get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4 skeins. 3 of them were loops and threads, so that's really nice. The big chenille yarns, so those were big skeins out of my stash, take up a lot of space. So we were able to get through those, which is great. Cleaning up some extra, sorry kids, cleaning up some of the extra big stuff laying around that really just needs to get used up. So that is all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for sticking through this vlog. Let me know if you want to keep doing this, if what I have to share is relevant. But yeah, thank you for watching, and thank you for sticking around. Bye.